What is shakin', Internet? This is Salts bringing you another dash of Salts, where you guys ask me Salts questions about my life and video games in general. Alright, this week is the second week of the month of March, Dash of Salts. In case you're not familiar with it, basically I take 5 or 6-ish questions every week, and I answer them on this show. I enter those people who got their questions answered into a big pile of answers and questions and things, and at the end of the month, I give everybody a shot at getting a $20 gift card. This $20 gift card can be whatever you want. It can be Battle.net card, League of Legends RP card, Steam card, a Google Play card, depending on whatever I can get for your region. To enter, all you have to do is send in a question to a-dash.of.salts@gmail.com. That's a-of-salts with periods in between at gmail.com. Alternatively, you can leave a question in the comments section below on this video. The question can literally be anything and everything. I'm pretty open to whatever. Okay, last week we did have a winner, and the winner did get his prize, or her prize, I can't remember. But either way, congratulations to that person. So let's go ahead and start up some new questions this week. Oh, one other thing, I almost forgot. I did say we were going to do a giveaway last one for games. I was hoping to get 300 views on the last video. I didn't get 300 views, so I'm going to hold that out. I am going to lower the bar a little bit, though. If we get 200 views on this video by next Monday, when I record the next A Dash of Salts, if we get 200 views by then, I will be giving out a game. Basically, it is a Steam game. I have multiple Steam games, so I will be selecting a winner and then saying, what game would you like? I have many games available, and we'll figure out what we want once I pick a winner, but I will be contacting that person. Now, to win the game, if we get that 200 views, so first off, we need 200 views, so go ahead and share this video, share it on social medias and things. I don't know how to do all that. That's what you guys are for, because I have no idea how to answer. I actually tried to do stuff on Reddit, and I'm too dumb to do things on Reddit. So, either way, you guys go share it. If we get 200 views, I will pick a winner. The winner will come from anybody who asks a question at all this next week. That's regardless of if you got a question on the show. So if you get a question on the show, great. If you just simply ask a question at all, you will be entered to win the game. So if we get 200 views, somebody's going to get a game. And 5 questions are going to get picked for next week's show to get that $20 gift card raffle. Now, let's actually move into some real questions now. First question this week comes from James Audioslave. Very nice name. James Audioslave asks, since Glyph of Alabaster Shield has been removed for Paladins, I guess in patch 6.1, what would you recommend taking? So I didn't even realize this was a thing, that we were losing Glyph of Alabaster Shield. I guess maybe I just didn't use it enough, or everything else. I thought it was a pretty good glyph to use, but the problem with Paladin Glyphs are so many situational ones. The ones that definitely come to mind are Glyph of Divine Protection. That's the one that gives you more physical damage reduction and less magical damage reduction. Then there's Glyph of Focus Shield, which makes your Avenger Shield only hit one target but do a lot more damage. Then there's the Consecration/Consecrator Glyphs. Both of those ones are really good. Just in different situations. The problem is, like I said, there's so many different situational glyphs that it's hard for paladins. It feels like you're always switching them up. There's never a set of glyphs that's good for all situations. However, with the loss of Alabaster Shield, I kind of think I like just a general glyph that I maybe didn't mention. I can't remember if I mentioned it in my Paladin tanking video, but that is Glyph of Final Wrath. Glyph of Final Wrath basically makes your Holy Wrath do an additional 50% damage to all targets with less than 20% health. So basically it turns your Holy Wrath into an execute. That's really cool, and it's an AoE execute, so I mean that's even cooler. You're going to be spamming Holy Wrath basically on cooldown anyway, so this is literally a no-brainer. Do more damage if you get the boss lower. I think it's a great glyph, and I think it's a perfect replacement for Alabaster Shield if you don't have some other glyph that you'd rather be using or would really need to use. But yeah, so basically, I mean, there's all kinds of good glyphs that are already good. I'm not sure if I mentioned Final Wrath, but I think that's a great replacement for Alabaster Shield. So that's my recommendation. All right, next question. Next question comes from Urig Brown. Urig Brown asks, what do you think of bards so far? So Bard is the newest champion in League of Legends. I believe he's the 125th champion to be released for League of Legends. Man, that's a lot of champions. So Bard is the newest champion. He's a support mainly. I've seen him in the jungle. I've actually seen him as AD carry. In all roles, I think Bard is a little underwhelming. I think that he is really cool, and I think that he has a really cool kit. I don't think his numbers are right. I feel like he either does not enough damage, especially with his auto attacks. I don't think I've ever seen a champion that does as little auto attack damage as Bard, because without those meeps, he practically does nothing unless you have, auto attack items if you're running AD carry Bard. But I think people are still learning to play him. I definitely am still learning to play him. I think that he's going to be really good once people really understand how to use him. The tunnels that he pulls out can be really, really broken and really awesome. You can do some really fancy things with some tunnels. You can also really mess people up with the ultimate. And obviously, everybody has seen it, I'm sure, at this point, that you can really mess up your own team with the ultimate. I've totally screwed my own team over with a Bard ultimate. And I've also totally turned an entire team fight around with a Bard ultimate into our favor. So, it is a game-changing ultimate, and I think people are definitely going to have to learn how to use it better. I think that Bard as a support is probably going to see a lot of play. I think once people, especially like competitively in the LCS and stuff, I think once people get have a real high skill cap, get on there, they're going to be busting it out. I also think that we're going to see some terrible Bard ultimates even in the LCS. I bet we'll see some really messed up ones that are kind of going to screw everybody over. This kind of goes back to the days of watching Rumble ultimates in LCS. Rumble ultimates nowadays are hit and miss. They're either really, really good or they're really, really crappy. Imagine that being Bard. Imagine saying, oh, that was a really crappy Bard ultimate. Oh, that means you just probably screwed your entire team over. So, I don't know. I don't think it's the end of the world, but I definitely think there's some... I think that he's a really cool champion. I really like playing him. But I think that he's only going to be a good support. I don't think he's going to be a good jungle. I don't think he's going to be a good AD carry. I haven't even thought about him going top. I don't think his scaling's good enough to be a mid or anything like that. But I think that I want to see what really good people can do with Bard. Because so far, I haven't seen anybody that's blown my mind with Bard. So yeah, that's Bard. That's Bard. I like him. So, next question. Next question comes from Sherlo. Sherlo asks, what do you think of the WoW token? Now, this is a new thing that was kind of announced a week or two ago. Basically, if you haven't heard about this, World of Warcraft is now, it's not out yet, but it's going to implement an in-game item that acts as subscription time. So basically, you can if you've ever played WildStar, it's very similar to what they had in there. Basically, you can go and pay $30 to get an in-game item, and you can immediately use that to add a month or 2 months or however much of game time to your account. So basically, you can keep going with that, and you can just keep playing with that instead of having to do anything else. And because it's an in-game item, it can actually be traded amongst players. What this means is that you can go onto your auction house, you can use your in-game gold, and you can buy game time. So basically, those people that are farming gold and everything like that, guess what? You can now pay gold to get game time. This is going to fluctuate with the market, but basically what it's going to do is, I don't really know what it's for. It feels like maybe they're trying to cut back on the gold farmers so that, hey, now you don't have to buy, no, actually, I think that would increase it, because then you can pay, I'm going to go pay $10 and I'm going to get 50,000 gold from these gold farmers, and then I'm going to sell, use the gold to buy game time. So, there is going to be a point where gold farming either is going to lose a lot of money or it's going to gain a lot of money. I'm not really sure which one. I personally don't think that it matters. To me, I just pay my monthly subscription fee anyway for World of Warcraft, so I don't really think about it too much. But the people that do have a ton of gold and nothing to spend on, which, holy cow, how do you have a ton of gold and nothing to spend on? Because I have nothing but things to spend gold on in this game. regardless, it does give you a little bit of, hey, now I can go buy subscription time with my in-game items. So people who are actually playing the game and are actually, doing stuff actively in the game are getting rewarded for it. Sometimes you can, get a free month out of it, or maybe even more. Maybe you can just sustain your World of Warcraft habit by playing World of Warcraft. Good job. That's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence about this. I think it'll probably cut down on like the black market of World of Warcraft and that kind of stuff. But I also think that people will do. I mean, I'm hoping, and I'm hoping Blizzard thinks this too. I'm hoping that what this does is it encourages people to actually play the game if you want to continue playing the game. So basically, you're saying, hey, I can just farm up gold and do that. What the idea is, there's also this other flip idea which I didn't really talk about, and that's people saying, oh, I really need in-game gold. I can just buy this game token and then sell it for a whole bunch of gold. I guess that's a thing. You can now buy gold. It's cool. I mean, you don't know how much gold you're going to get because it fluctuates with the market, because somebody else could buy another one of these things and sell them. But I think it's going to even out, and once it evens out, you can say, hey, I can go spend $10 on this token, or $15 or $20 or however much it costs, and then I can immediately get this amount of gold, or very close to this amount of gold out of it. So if you really want to buy gold, done, no problem. And technically, I'm not even going to get in the argument of yes, that just was going to flood the economy. No, it's not, because all the gold is going from players to players. There's no gold income. There's no extra gold that's going into the market, so it's not going to affect the economy really. All it's going to do is give people subscription time. So, I mean, I didn't think that WildStar really had a problem with this, and I think WildStar did it perfectly fine, and this is almost exactly the same thing as that WildStar did when it launched. So, there you go. All right, so next question comes from Andrew. Andrew asks, I don't know if you have done all of Blackrock Foundry yet, but so far, who is your favorite boss? Okay, so I'm going to be honest now. I know that most of Blackrock Foundry is out in LFR now. I think that you can do 3 of the 4 wings. I haven't done any of it yet. I'm actually trying to get guides together so that I can go in there, record video, and then immediately give those videos out to you guys. I'm sorry that it's late, but I will get it out soon-ish. I want to get it out soon-ish for you guys. Everything's ready to go. I'm almost done with the scripting and stuff like that, but I will get those out. Now, to the question, what is my favorite boss in the thing? I've looked up most of the bosses. I don't know, because I haven't played them yet. I don't know which ones are fun and which ones are kind of weird. I did allude to the conveyor belt boss. I can't remember which name it is, but like it has conveyor belts that move back and forth. That boss seems really cool. I'm really kind of excited about doing that boss because there's like patterns to the floor and other things. I want to try that one out because that one looks really cool. Now, one thing that I do want to note before I move on from this question is I actually really, really like Hans and Franz. I don't just because it's Hans and Franz. Like I love that Saturday Night Live skit. So I love that boss just because it's Hans and Franz. I don't know if it'll be a fun boss or anything like that, but it's Hans and Franz. There you go. All right, so the final question for this week comes from David Pagiella. David Pagiella asks, Star Trek or Star Wars? So this is an age-old debate that must go on in infamy. But I'm here to tell you, Star Wars is better. That's right, I said it. Gauntlet has been thrown down. So Star Trek, I have seen every single Star Trek movie. I love Star Trek. I don't want to lose my subscribers. Should I be on the fence? Here's I know, I need to stay out of politics on YouTube. I understand. I'm sorry. But here's the deal. So I have seen every single Star Trek movie. I have seen every single episode of Star Trek, Next Generation, Voyager, Deep Space Nine. I haven't seen Enterprise at all, so there is that. Maybe I'm wrong. But I love Star Trek, and I think Star Trek is some great, great TV. I think Star Wars overall is just a better universe, and I think that's because I like the more fantasy setting. Everybody that's really into Star Trek will tell you that Star Trek is more realistic. They have more physics behind a lot of the stuff that they do. A lot of tech talk that nobody really understands and nobody really cares about, except for the super Trekkies. But at the end of the day, Star Trek is more realistic, and Star Wars is more fantasy. Star Wars is more fun, and I like the fun. I like lightsabers, and yes, I know that lightsabers wouldn't work because they would pass right through each other. They wouldn't actually clash at all because they're just beams of light. However, it's fun, it's cool, and it's just a blast. I know I'll probably really regret saying this, but I actually really enjoyed the prequels, the prequel trilogy. I actually thought they were fun. I don't think they were the best movies, but they did, come out, and I watched them. So there you go. There you go. But yes, Star Wars, I've always been a huge fan of Star Wars, not only because of the movies, but I actually was a big fanboy and read a lot of the extended universe books. Unlike most people who actually read most of those extended universe books, once Star Trek Episode 7 comes out, if you haven't heard this, there's a whole bunch of books that expand on the universe of Star Wars that say, that happen after Episode 6, and that's called the expanded universe generally. They're just all these they're technically fan fiction, but they've all kind of been endorsed by Star Wars people. I mean, they're allowed to do all this stuff, and they are really, really good books. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff there. And it kind of grows and grows, and everybody just kind of builds on each other, and everybody just has some fantastic writing. But when Star Trek Episode 7 comes out, they've announced that they're saying we're completely ignoring all these books. So all these novels over, dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of novels, they're just saying, nope, that was all fancy fan fiction. Now we're just moving on, and we're doing Episode 7 however we want. Unlike most of the people who read most of those books, I'm okay with that. I want them to do whatever they want to do. I would like maybe some of the characters to have roles or have parts or things like that. I mean, it would be cool to see Mara Jade. Mara Jade's cool. I like the idea of her. There's all these cool ideas and cool concepts, and I want them to be present, but I don't want them to be tied to the extended universe, because I think if they start trying to do stuff around that, then it's going to be bad. And I know I'm kind of ranting on Star Wars here. Like I said, Star Trek. So since I'm talking about Star Trek, I'm going to be honest. Star Trek, best movie of the entire series, and I've watched them all. I like them all. Well, most of them all. But I think the best movie in the entire Star Trek series is First Contact. First Contact is so good. Star Trek First Contact is just a blast of a movie. You can watch it today, and it's just so good. And it's so emotional. It's so I don't know. It's got a lot of feels, and it's got a lot of action. It's just awesome. Jean-Luc Picard. What more is there to say other than Jean-Luc Picard? But yes, I prefer Star Wars just slightly over Star Trek. Love them both. Love them both. And that's our show for this week. Awesome. I think that's a great time to stop the show. So, again, please send in those questions. Please send in the questions to a-dash.of.salts@gmail.com. That's a dash of salts with periods in between @gmail.com. Or you can leave your questions in the comments section below. Give me those questions. I want at least 5 questions so that I can start up the week next week, or start the questions for the week. And if we can get 200 views by next Monday, so share this video, do it on the socials, do it on the Reddit, do it on everything. Share this video, and if we get 200 views, I will pick everybody who asks a question get a chance at a game. I have many, many games. I might even give multiple games depending on how many views. I just want more views so that I can give you guys more stuff. That's what I want. And that will be our show. So please like, favorite, share, subscribe, all that jazz. And as always, you keep it salty, Internet.